In the last video, I taught you how to save money. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to stop working for money and how to have money start working for you. What's going on, guys? It's Nick from Mindful Mastery, and I'm here today to help you master your wallet. If you haven't checked out my last video on saving money, then go check that out. I'll have it linked up here and down in the description. The first concept that you need to understand if you want to become rich is investing. Now, whenever most people hear investing, they think of the stock market, and that is one way that you can invest with your money. But there are a couple other ways that you can invest with your money. But if you want to become rich, you not only have to consider how you're going to invest your money, you also need to consider how you're going to invest your time. Most of us probably spend a lot of time doing unproductive or unimportant things. So we need to ask ourselves before we do anything, how will this help me succeed? How will this help me become rich? And whenever you do that, it will help you cut out the garbage that is holding you back from becoming successful. But there are some things that are important but aren't necessarily meaningful and are time consuming. So we'll take me for an example. Let's just assume that my time is worth about 50 bucks an hour, even though that's probably not the case. Editing this video is definitely not worth $50 an hour. So I could outsource the editing process to someone else while I work on something more important and meaningful, like creating content for this channel. So if you want to become rich, then think about what are the things that you can cut out and outsource to someone else so that you can spend more time working on meaningful things that will help your success grow. Now let's get into how to actually invest your money. The first is invest in knowledge, because our brains are our most valuable assets. So the more that we invest in them, the better chance that we have at becoming rich and successful, because the more you learn, the more you earn. And my favorite way to learn is by reading books, because books are just a lifetime of wisdom in the palm of your hand. Now, not all books are going to give you a nugget of wisdom that you can use, but a majority of books will. And if you make a mere $11 on a $10 book from the information that you gained from that book, then it is definitely worth the price that you paid for it. But in reality, we can make upwards of $1,000 per book as long as we apply the concepts from those books. This is why I try and make sure that I apply at least one concept from each and every book that I read in order to help me learn and grow slowly but surely. Because if you don't apply what you learn from books, then you aren't really learning anything at all. The second place where you can put your money is into the stock market. Most people, whenever they hear about the stock market, they're probably a little fearful because they always hear about it going down and people losing a lot of money. But that is just kind of the nature of the stock market, at least the going down part, because there is generally a cycle of about 5 to 7 years where we have a recession. Now, we have gone 10 years without having a recession, but don't let that stop you from investing. In fact, invest right now. Let me just show you how much more you can make by investing compared to just saving your money by the time that you retire. I'll just assume that I'm going to save about $1,200 each year, and then I'm 21 right now. I'll retire whenever I'm 65, so that's 44 years. And then we will add the amount that I have saved up already, which is $6,500. So as you can see, I won't even have $60,000 saved up by the time that I retire. But let's go to the compounding interest calculator. So I'm starting off with $65,000, and then I'll put an additional $1,200 each and every year, which is about $100 a month. And then I'll do that for 44 years, and it will grow at an interest rate about 8% per year. And I chose 8% because that is on average how much the stock market goes up each year. So as you can see, by the time I retire, if I invest my money, then I will have $650,000 in total compared to if I just saved my money whenever I had $60,000 at the end of it. So I had 10 times the amount that I had compared to whenever I was just saving my money. Now that you know about the power of compounding, how exactly do you get into investing? So one way is that you can go to the app called Acorn, and this works similarly to how the app Capital from the last video works, in that you can either automatically transfer funds to the app, or you can just make it round up whenever you make purchases. And then from there, you can choose your investing style. So I have it set to aggressive, but you can also set it to conservative. And if you set it to conservative, then you won't have as much risk, but you won't get as much as a return as if you invest aggressively. But if you invest aggressively, then you'll be put at a higher risk. And then there's also a couple of categories in between there, so you can just pick between your investing style and how you want to grow your wealth. The next way that you can invest in the stock market is through index funds. Now, index funds, put simply, are just groups of stocks. So whenever you invest into an index fund, you are owning a portion of a bunch of stocks. The most common index fund is the SPY index fund, which comes from the S&P 500, which is an index that tracks the 500 largest companies in the entire stock market, which is why it's generally considered safe, and is where I got that interest rate of 8% per year from. So these first two options are pretty good options for someone that either doesn't have much time or doesn't really want to get into the nitty-gritty of investing and picking their own stocks, because it is a lot to learn. But for those of you that want to actually learn about picking stocks and researching companies, then you would have to get a brokerage account. And if you just are starting off with a little bit of money, then I would recommend going to Robinhood. And the reason that I would recommend this is because there are no commissions for each trade that you place, compared to a different brokerage like Fidelity, Charles Schwab, or TD Ameritrade, where they charge you a minimum of $5 per trade that you make. But with Robinhood, they don't charge you anything, which is why I like that. But if you invest through a bigger brokerage like Schwab, Fidelity, or TD Ameritrade, then they will provide you a lot more insurance on your money, and then also provide you with more research and analysis into the stocks that you look at, which I don't really need right now, so I generally use Yahoo Finance. But if you do have a lot more money that you're going to invest, then I would recommend that you use a bigger brokerage. But if you're going to use Robinhood, then I have a link in the description that you can use and get a free stock ranging from $2 to $200. So worst case scenario, you get $2 and you can sell it after a couple days. But I actually recently got a stock of Facebook, which was worth about $167. It's worth less now, but I'm not too worried about it because I believe in the company long term. So if you're interested in getting a free stock, then check it out. It's in the description below, Robinhood. The third place where you can invest your money in order to become rich is rental property. Now, rental property is a little bit more complex than investing, and it requires a lot more money to actually get into. But the cool thing about rental property is that once you pay off the mortgages, then all of the money coming in from those rental properties is going directly to you. And then once you build up enough rental properties, you can hire a property manager who can oversee all of the property management and stuff like that, all the tedious things, while you sit back and relax and do whatever you like, which is why I really like rental properties over investing, just because that provides you a constant income each and every month, compared to investing, which provides you a dividend every 3 months, and generally that's not even that much unless you have a really large dividend portfolio built up. The last and most complex way to become rich is by investing in your business. Now, there's a diverse array of perspectives and opportunities in order for you to develop a business and grow your wealth. So I won't get into the details about owning a business. I'll just give you one tip, and that's to not quit your day job. At least not yet. And the reason is because most businesses fail simply because they run out of money. So you want to make sure that you keep your day job and continuously pay yourself first, and take a portion of your paycheck and then put it into your business until it becomes enough to provide you with a living. And then once you get to that point, you can quit your day job and invest all of your time into your business until you become rich. That's all that I've got for you today, guys. Please comment the one thing that you learned from this video that you will apply to your life. Like and subscribe if you haven't. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.